Jam. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It might can happen. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Bish. I'll say what's up to her.
Hello, happy Sunday, happy Memorial Day. We hope you like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And while you're subscribing to both of us because you love us, go ahead and send that love also to Shana. We have two channels for her. Her main channel, Shana underscore MCD, and then her secondary channel, Shana underscore MCD TV. She has two channels. Shana is doing her thing here on YouTube. We want to keep her here on YouTube. So do me a favor, go ahead and go over to her channel, subscribe to her channel. She does all of the reality TV beats like Basketball Wives, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and She Has Never Ever Met, which we recap on Mrs. Best channel. So all three of those, two of those shows are on Mrs. Best channel. One of them are on my channel. So if you guys love those shows and you want to see them, support us both, but also show Shana that same love, y'all. We would appreciate it because, they don't do our skin folk well here on these YouTube streets. So y'all support us, please. Anywho, so Somebody's Son, this is called Bear It All. The episode starts off with Tamaris. She goes into the confessional and she says that Josh downplayed their date because what happened was Lexi came up to her after her conversation with Josh and pretty much played her. And I said, Lexi, you ain't right. I see what you're doing. I see exactly what you're doing. And so it makes me wonder if Tamaris is just, not the brightest crown in the box, or if she really just, is a girl's girl and trusts as women, because I wouldn't trust Lexi. This is the competition. So basically, Lexi took it to Tamaris that Josh was not really all that interested and that it was just a date. But what Josh actually said was, why are you focused on Tamaris and why aren't you focusing on us? Pretty much saying, focus on you in this competition and don't worry about Tamaris. But that's not how I got back to her. So, Mrs. Best, I got to ask you right away. How did you feel about the way Lexi brought that over to Tamaris? And do you think she was being messy? Or do you think genuinely Josh isn't interested?
I don't think Josh is interested in any of these women, to be honest. I feel like the only woman that he would have done well with was the little Nigerian girl that was sent home. Um, and that's basically only on cultural, but I don't feel like he's that interested in any of these women. But I don't know how to explain it. I do feel like the way that he's dating them is a little reckless, if that makes sense. Like, I understand it's reality TV dating, but there's no difference in how he treats each one of them, in my opinion. I don't sense like a lot of chemistry or any of that. But is it Tamaris? I hope I'm saying her name
It's
correctly.
Tamaris. Uh-huh.
Like, if you come back from a date and they did that, I wouldn't have even let them separate us. I would have been like, hold on, can we say goodbye properly? And then we'll come say what's up to y'all. Like, that's about it. It's a reality TV competition, so she shouldn't trust nobody's opinion. But separate from it being reality TV, she just met these women. Don't trust them. Shayna says she gave up.
Yeah, I was just saying to Shayna. I was just saying this. I literally just said this. I'm like, I don't want to do this show because the concept is so stupid. And then I don't believe the only person I really believe genuinely this process is working for, even though I can't stand them, is Charlize and James. I feel like this is the only mother-son duo that this process is working for. I don't know what the hell happened to Katina and Chad because we haven't seen them in the last 3 episodes. And then I feel like Josh is playing. So I feel like that's the only mother-son duo that really is serious about this. So, but I do agree with you. And it also is difficult because the concept of it, we're not even like placing it in like a prospect of it being focused on mother and son dynamic. It's now shifted to where we're focusing on the ladies and their dynamic with each other when that's not the whole premise of the show. So yeah, let me read some of these comments here. It would have had potential if all of them were in the same house. Maybe. I don't know if I agree with that. I think this show would have a better potential if the mom made an appearance in maybe one or two episodes and just judge from the sideline, or eliminate the son out of it altogether and just have the mom pick which daughter would be perfect for her son and then reveal the son at the end. Maybe something like that. Hi, Dustin Butler. Thank you for being here with us. We appreciate you. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't like the concept of the show. I think it's stupid. I think that this is unrealistic as hell. But we then move on um to the next day. Josh has cooked breakfast for everybody. Um, and pretty much Tamaris comes in and gives him the cold shoulder, and he notices it right away. And he doesn't know exactly how to feel about it because he was like, why would she be giving me the cold shoulder? And Tamaris is basically, you know, let me see here because I messed up my notes here. Oh, yeah, I did mess up my notes. Whoopsie. I gotta fix that. So Tamaris confides in the girl saying she had a great time and she's expecting him to be all in it with her because she understands this is a competition. But at the same time, she doesn't want him to downplay their good time because she said she had a good time. They kissed. She normally doesn't do that. She doesn't do any of the things that she has done on this. And that's why I'm saying y'all gotta stop letting men like him trick y'all into coming out of what you normally would do, because it doesn't make sense to me that you're in a house, you went on a date, he now downplayed the situation. See, I would have taken that as, okay, downplay it all you want to. I'm going to ride this out because I'm on TV, so I'm gonna get a benefit one way or the other. So Oma takes Josh away so they can get their next assignment, and the next assignment is basically is having the women strip up all of their makeup, and they're going to run an expenditure chart of how much it costs to keep up their monthly maintenance, which is, hair, makeup, nails, things that all ladies love to do. I actually didn't mind this exercise because this is a very eye-opening thing when we really look at the money we spend as Americans, the money we spend on a month-to-month basis on our maintenance and upkeep. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the exercise?
I felt like it was distasteful. I also felt like it was a violation of the participants on this show's privacy. I also feel like, listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm married. I have a joint bank account with my spouse. He has his own bank account. I have my own bank account. You still have to be able to protect certain parts of yourself. That was too much too soon. Um, and specifically with Josh, we don't even know what he does. He can't tell these women what he's an entrepreneur in. So it's kind of annoying that they have to discuss their upkeep that they pay for with somebody they're getting to know who hasn't even officially chosen them yet. So I didn't like it for that reason. If these people had been together for a longer period of time, maybe I'd feel a little better, but they just haven't spent enough time to do that. I felt like it was too much. The no makeup thing, I also, just because I do work in mental health, feel like psychologically that's not okay. A lot of people are attached to makeup, a lot of people are attached to how they look. It is a fact that women are judged much harsher and stricter than men are as well. Um, it just felt like it was kind of to embarrass them because I'm sure they've seen each other without makeup during filming around the house at times. So it just felt like it was meant to make them look crazy. So I didn't like anything about the activity.
What's funny is that you just brought up a really, really good point that I didn't even realize. But then also, when it comes to Josh in particularly, to me, I kind of felt like, what does he put his monthly maintenance on? And why we didn't know that? Because he doesn't give me cheap. He doesn't, spend the money. And James either. James doesn't give me, but see, James was cool with his, which we'll get to in a minute. But to me, when you said that, it made me really think about what Josh was saying with Oma, which we'll get to in a minute. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. Now that I'm processing it and now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, how dare y'all own? How dare y'all? Because that just to me, that exposes them in a vulnerability that like shamed them for
Yeah, they tried
what
to
they did.
shame them.
Mhm.
This is not
That's a
a
real point.
show about like shallow women or any of that. They're trying to date somebody's son. It was a very strange thing to ask some women to do. At the very least, the mom should have took off their makeup and exposed their expenses as well. So, but some of the ladies were smart with how they answered.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which we're going to get to in a minute. But Oma asked Josh, how did they go with Tamaris? And he goes, the date went really good. We had a good time. And it's kind of weird because she's giving me the cold shoulder. So I don't know exactly what happened. And I'm looking at Josh like, you don't know what happened? You don't put two and two together to know that you told Lexi something and she ran back and told her, being messy. I'm just saying, like, come on, you couldn't think women are vindictive a lot of the times in these situations and circumstances. So you can tell Josh ain't all the way there. Because I would immediately went to Lexi and said, what did you tell her? Because last night it was weird. You brought up her name, you brought up the date. What was your motive? But that's just me. Maybe I just read too far into things. But we go over to Charlize and James. Same situation. They're going to do the remove of the makeup, and also they're going to um pretty much go through the same thing, the expenditure charge. I thought theirs were funny, so I'm gonna stay on them for a minute. Um, James tells Charlize so his day with Lexi went, not Lexi, Elisa, Alicia. Sorry, I put Lexi, Alicia. It went well. She's a ball of energy, and Charlize said, "I bet she is." And I'm looking at Charlize like, "This is why this show doesn't work. This is why this show doesn't work. Why are you hating on this lady?" And I got to thinking, I wonder if Alicia reminded Charlize of herself, of what she may have been like in her 20s, and that's why she's giving her such a hard time. Mrs. Best, do you think that that could be what it is? Because I'm like, well, this lady has not done anything, at least to my knowledge.
She's just judgmental. She's one of those judgy Christians. That's it.
Mm. It is judgmental, but then it has to be because I'm like processing this. I'm like, it has to be another layer. Like, because I can't, because it's weird to me. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to dissect this a little bit more because we got time. Because they didn't do shit on this episode that I felt was really all that. If your child comes to you with somebody and your immediate reaction is to judge them because you just only see looks, you haven't known her intellectually, you haven't known her that long. You're in a house with her. You can break barriers to get to know her better, but you choose to keep her on the surface because you're judgmental based on her being a free spirit and her, kind of being, I don't want to say like flamboyant or anything. Like, I don't want to say like she's over the top, but she is, she puts herself together. So I don't know what's wrong with that. Like, to me, Charlize does a lot on this. Like, I feel like none of those girls are safe, no matter who he picks. None of them are safe when it comes to her.
She
So
does too much. She will always do too much. And I think it's because she's miserable in her own marriage.
yeah, are we ever gonna meet the dads? Do you think they're gonna do that? Because now I want to meet the dads. I need to see the dynamics now. Now that I think Charlize is the only one that's married, right? We don't know about Oma, and then we know Katina's not married. So
Yeah.
I wonder.
Oma don't count. I don't think Oma married.
She said, "Oma don't count." Let me go ahead and get my notes back. Sorry, y'all. I had to respond to something real quick. But the ladies break down their, you know, I guess we're gonna call this expenditure of maintenance. That's what we're gonna call this. Alicia's maintenance was she gets her hair, nails, she has a yoga, she has Pilates, she has all kind of stuff, and it adds up to about $1,205 a month. Baby, that's all Miss Charlize needed to hear. She said, "Oh wow, that's a lot of money." Saw Renee, same situation, except hers was a little bit less. She didn't have much of the gym exercises, but hers was 1,040. And then we have Brevon, who says she only does threading eyelashes. So that's $20. So she does it. No, that's $10. So she does it twice a month. So that's $20 a month. And I looked at Ravon and I said, okay, because I was with Alicia. I don't believe that either. I don't believe
But
that.
I'm not gonna be telling nobody all of my business either on national television. She was smart. Not everything is shareable.
I'm just saying it's not shareable, but at the same time, then you come off inauthentic. If let's say he picked her and the circumstance is um the $10 every 2 weeks to $20, she got to go get her hair colored. She got to go get a pedicure. She got to go get, some things. Um,
I mean, we
you
knew she
know,
was lying because some of them girls acted like they did their own nails sitting there with the full set. So
hmm
I look at it, I'm like, I know y'all ain't done that. If your hair has color in it that is not natural, you had to have paid at the very least $10 to $12 for that dye. So it just showed how uncomfortable these women were with this type of activity. Like normal circumstances, yeah, I would say they could come off as inauthentic. However, from each man we saw, all of the women, there were a couple of them that just were not honest. And the ones who were honest were the ones who were spending the most money. And honestly, that make me look at somebody like, you shallow as fuck, because I start doing the calculations for what I spend as a woman. I'm like, get my hair done every single month. My nails get done every 10 days. And I'm like, how are y'all coming
10
up with these
days.
figures? But this, it's crazy.
Did you say
It's
every 10
crazy.
days you get your nails done?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely. And feet. The fuck?
okay. I never knew that. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's a
I'm
real life
always, if
thing.
you pay attention, see, you were so happy to see me, cousin. Oh my God, it's been years. Don't you go that long without seeing me. You didn't feel them claws scratching your back.
No, I did not. I didn't even, girl, I didn't even notice your nails when I saw you. I was like, I was just so happy to see you. Like, it wasn't even a situation of, let me look at
No,
your
I go
nails.
every single paycheck, every 10 days. My nails is getting done. Shout out to Katrina. I do not play with that. And then there's other little things like I don't like to keep hair on my body. So some of it I do myself, like waxing, hair removal, stuff like that. But you still spend money on it. These women just didn't want to talk about what they do.
Yeah,
Because then it's
I
also
mean,
kind of like how plastic surgery, talking about the work you've had done when it should look natural, kind of taboo. I feel like it's also that with your self-care. Like, why are they in their business?
well, we gonna get to it in a minute because I want to go back over to Josh and Oma, but Charlize said that she loves Bravon. Bravon is such a go-getter because Bravon revealed that she really wants to invest in a second property. So that's why she doesn't take the money and do her upkeep. So it's not that she doesn't do it. It's just that right now she has a bigger hierarchy to own property versus maintenance, which I can respect. But it's kind of like Shana. I kind of feel like this too. I feel like some women want men to think that they're low maintenance and wrong road. And I do agree with that because that's inauthentic. Every woman I know, no matter who you are and no matter what you can do for yourself, these things cost. Like buying the simple manicure set costs. Buying a straightening, iron, it costs. Buying all these things are definitely essential. So it's like you don't just do them. You don't cut your nails with some scissors. You don't, it, so I just felt like, yeah, I do feel like some women want men to think that, but no, I feel like, no, men want y'all to be honest about that. Like Mrs. Best revealed something that I never knew that she did, which is get her nails done every 10 days. Men want to know these things because we don't know, exactly why you do it and exactly what it does for you.
It's just a common courtesy too. If you intend to be with somebody, even if
hmm
your goal is not marriage, if you intend to like live with someone, budget with someone, they do have a right to know what you pay for so you can know what each other can contribute. But I I just feel like Bravon didn't want to talk about it on TV because she was looking around like the fuck. But looking at her, like some of the stuff, like she's sitting there saying she does everything else herself while she had on an acrylic full set. Stop it, Bravon.
I
Stop.
just said that because I was looking at her. That was the first thing I looked at. I said, "Bravon, come on!" And
She
I'm looking
had
at
her
and I'm
edges
looking at that.
laid.
And I'm looking at her hair too, because she has color in her hair. That is not a box job. Like, I know you didn't put that dye in your hair yourself. So come on, stop playing.
And all that makeup she had on. Makeup is not cheap. For those who know, if you're buying quality makeup, that shit is not cheap. So, and she had on a whole bunch of makeup that she had to take off, a whole bunch of it. So, I know that she's spending probably at least $500 in upkeep, but it's cool, Bravon. It's cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
cost.
They call. So
Everything
it's
is
like,
expensive.
yeah, it's like, come on. Like, I'm not gonna play. Like, they were playing on this, especially the ladies for James and Charlize. They were playing. So when they asked James how he feels, James understands that this is a natural thing for women to do. His love language is acts of service. So if he needs to cover a bill or two, he's fine with that. Me and James have a lot in common because my love language is active service. Who would have thought? But Charlize, was when Alicia, no, Charlize said, well, who pays for all of this? And Alicia said, I pay for it myself. Like, I don't expect my man to do it, but at some point, I would like him to, think of me well enough to say, hey, let me help you get your nails done. Let me help you do that. And Charlize was all like, and she goes, your taste is expensive. What, you got a sugar daddy? And I looked at Charlize and I said, see, Miss Charlize,
That pissed me off when
where
she
my
said that.
Miss
Pissed me off.
Charlize, go ahead, Mrs. Best, because I'm going to read her for Phil.
No, I just this is what I mean by them old school, judgy, like baby boomer Christian women. Like I know y'all was fighting for the right for us to vote. However, comma, we have come far. Women can cover themselves for things without having a sugar daddy. I don't understand where she would have got that from. It irritated my soul. And the other thing is, I know her generation felt it was okay for the man to pay for everything. Miss Charlize's husband probably paid for everything she was wearing, from makeup to clothes to all of that. So I'm looking like, why is it okay for her generation to accept a man that covers everything and traditionally is the one to work? But if these women did have a man that was helping them or expects their man to help them, then suddenly that makes them bad or candidates that would have sugar daddies. Like this lady is so negative and judgmental towards her own people. Listen, me too, Shayna.
Mine, I wish mine was all of them. When I actually did the test, mine said active service, and then next was I forgot the second one was. It was something that I didn't think I was. It was really weird because I thought physical touch was mine, but apparently it's not. So let me read this lady real quick because to me, I don't know what it is about Alicia that you just not on board with. I don't know if she's doing something that we're not seeing, lady, but you coming off real haterish. And for that, I hope he picks her. I do. I hope James picks Alicia. I do, just to spite her. Because to me, there is no reason to why you should have all this energy towards this lady who has done nothing but try to actually date your son, who to me seems like he's very, what is that called? Introverted, where he probably would not do this, or if he does do it, he don't do it with your knowledge of it. I would hate to be in her household. I would hate to be with one of her kids because she's horrible. You are an absolutely horrible person. And like Mrs. Best said, that Old Testament Christian thing you trying to pull on this TV, it ain't working, lady. Because I know that ain't the real you. Let's dig up your past. Let's see what you was like when you was dating his daddy. Because you don't give me you was wearing $12 dresses from Walmart, and you don't give me that you was wearing Payless shoes back in the 80s and 90s. You don't give me that at all. So stop with this dramatic stuff, lady. Damn. Now where was I? Because that pissed me off when she did that. Because it was like I could see if Alicia was doing something, then I would feel like, okay, yeah, she do the most, and maybe you know it's warranted to some degree. But no, Alicia has not done nothing, at least in my eyes, to warrant that energy
She
from her.
forgets the problem with these moms, especially Miss Charlize, is she forgets her son needs help to date so bad that he has to go on national TV with his mama. Calm down judging these other women and realize your child ain't much of a prize too, because a career and a check don't make you a good partner. And I
Hmm.
don't think she realizes that, because her son does seem like kind of like the lights are on but no one's home all the time.
He do. He give me like no. He give me gamer. He give me somebody that be in the house playing video games and don't really be social. Like that's what he gives me. He don't give me the type that go out to lounges and just sit there. He don't give me that. I'm sorry. He gives me very much in the house. And the reason why he's struggling is because he don't know exactly how to put himself together. That's what he gives me. But it comes to a point where after hearing about, the maintenance and Miss Charlize's judgment of the ladies, James actually has to pick the date, not Miss Charlize this time. So James said he's going to pick Sabrina because he has yet to have a one-on-one with her and he would like to get to know her more, which I thought was fair. I feel like, yeah, definitely give her her chance to fight for her spot too. So I can appreciate that. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about him choosing Sabrina?
Like someone finally did something that made some type of sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Bravon
all.
was in her feelings. She was like, I thought because I had the lowest maintenance that, I would have won the date. Like, I feel away. And it was like, okay. First off, I don't believe that that's the only expense you do for yourself every month, as I said. And two, I feel like I don't understand what kind of show you think this is. It's a competition. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But whether you live to fight another day is on you. Okay? All right. Shout out to Friday. Anywho, we go back to Josh and Oma. So we go hear the ladies and their list of them, and Josh is making faces and is nervous and everything. So Chambrielle goes first. Her expenses are $1,815. And he was like, okay. And she has to do everything. She had to do a sew-in. She got to get facial. She got to do it, and I don't mind all that. I think that that's great. And she's beautiful. She really is. She reminded me of Brooke Bailey before she did the surgery. I think that's that. Is that Brooke Bailey? Is that her name from Basketball Wives, or am I throwing two names together that don't make no sense?
That was her name.
Okay, I had to think about that. I was like, wait, is that the lady? She looked like her from like I'm telling you. When I looked at it, I was like, oh, she looks like her. Hmm. Next, we have Lexi. This Lexi. 'Cause I like Lexi. I do, but I'm giving her a hard time because she messy. Lexi said, I do everything. I press my hair, I braid, I can do my own sewing, I can do this, I do my own nails, I wax my legs and everything. So my expenses was only $240. And I said, if y'all don't cut this shit out and stop playing. So a sew-in costs you $240 when you decide to get one, Lexi. Is that what you're saying?
Girl, what kind of hair you be? You definitely have to be buying that hair that be sold in Walmart and them odd places. You have to, because if you buying 100% human hair, even at 10 or 12 inches, if you buying quality hair, you looking at $200 right there. If you want your whole
Exactly.
head to have some girth, unless you want your hair to look like it's thinning, like Alexis from Never Ever Mets, you gonna be spending at least $200.
I find it hard to believe with a lady who has a beautiful head of hair like she does that she is buying low quality hair. Because what would be the point when you have this long, luxurious hair? What would be the point of you buying cheap hair? So, Lexi, stop with all that. I looked at when I tell you I rolled my eyes at her. I said, "Okay, so you just say you do your own sewing, but you don't spend more than $240, girl. Stop it, stop it." That right there would have told me everything I needed to know because you bullshitting. You bullshit. How much does a wax cost? How much is, and do you put it in a crock pot like other ghetto folks with a stick, or do you actually have a wax cooker? Because I know people, y'all don't judge me. It's Phoenix. I done seen some ghetto shit in my day. People buy the $9 crock pot from Walmart and they wax up in their salons and stuff. I didn't seen it. They say it worked just the same. You put it on warm and there it is. So yeah. So she don't. So I'm sorry, I didn't believe Lexi, y'all. I didn't. I didn't believe Lexi at all when she said $240. I feel like Lexi spent at least the same amount as Chambrielle, if not more. So Tamaris was very honest. She said that she do a whole lot, and they were adding it up. And James got not James. Josh got nervous as hell. He was adding that up. He was like $2,000. He was wait, no, it would be 2,000. It can go up to maybe. I think hers went up to like almost three. Yeah, she said, "Yeah, I spent a bag
Probably
on myself."
she probably using Afterpay a whole lot, but separate from using the Afterpay, that's too much. But for him to like get nervous should tell them he's not that great of an entrepreneur. Where is this man's W 2, W 4, I-9? I'd like to see a check stub, something. Can I see 6 months of bank statements only showing your deposits and what comes in?
I'm saying.
Because what does he do? I mean, I understand that's a lot of money that this girl is spending. I'm looking at her like that tells me she's not financially smart. It just
Hmm.
does. If you're not rich, then live like you're not rich. But I don't like this activity, James. It make my teeth itch.
Well, I was cracking up because Oma was looking at Lexi too, like we was, and saying, "Oh, so you don't spend that much money on yourself?" Because Oma know that was bullshit. We can look at her and tell that she spends money. Like, come on. So Oma takes Josh in the back, and Josh is all like, "It costs this much to be a lady. Like, y'all have to spend all." Oma said, "Yes, yes, it does. Like, that's the whole point of being a woman." Because I want to say, I'm like, Oma, what you spend your maintenance upkeep on? How much that skin lightening? Because y'all can't tell me Oma was that color when she was in her 20s and 30s. That looked very much like bleaching to me. I'm sorry, y'all. That lady, she's giving me Dr. Wendy Osefo's mama. She really is. And I'm just like, come on. So Oma understand. She do. She understands Tamaris's budget. She understands Shambrio budget. She calling bullshit with Lexi budget. She understands. And Josh was like, I'd rather use that money for travel and all. And I'm looking at him like, once again, like Mrs. Best said, where is the W-2, W-4? Where is the 1099 for the modeling gigs? Are you currently signed to a team right? No, you're not. You're a free agent. What am I talking about? Because to me, I kind of feel like it's given you don't have that kind of money to keep up with them. Because James was like, that's cool with me. I don't care about covering it. Like, I'll do it. You, on the other hand, talking about that's expensive when you look like you spend money on your upkeep as well. Hair.
James has a job, a verifiable job,
Yes, he
a
does.
career path. He has the kind of job where if he loses his job, you know that he can find another job just as good as the job that he lost. This man is a free agent that the NFL has not decided is useful in some time. Talk about he models. Ain't got no job.
So anyway, so Josh picked Lexi because she was cheap. And I said, boy, Lexi bullshitting. Lexi, I'm telling y'all, Lexi is playing this game. Because as I said, as the outside looking in, I don't believe Lexi. And the fact that she stirred up this mess with Tamaris, making Tamaris question the whole existence of her being on this show, lets you know Lexi's playing long game. And to me, Lexi, I don't feel like you're going to get the prize you think you're gonna get. So let's just go ahead and go to their date. So they begin on their date. She's talking to him about, future wise. She wants to know where his head is and everything. We have to understand Lexi has two girls. And so he asked about the co-parenting thing. And she said, we have a great co-parenting relationship. I don't believe you because you answered that way too quickly. And she said, I just want you to understand that you're coming into my life as a role as a stepfather because my girls come first. Are you ready for that? And Josh was like, I don't know if I'm ready, to be a stepfather, but talking with Lexi really makes me, want to step up and do that because I would love kids. And I'm just looking at him like, boy, Lexi is not the one for you. She playing long game, but Lexi is not the one for you. Lexi is not because at the end of the day, I don't see maturity from you. I just don't. I don't see maturity from Josh at all. Josh gives me he like to play. Josh gives me he gonna have you showing up to places in a pink roller set and some slippers. Tell him to get his ass in the car. He gives me that kind of energy. And to me, I don't have time to do all that. So for me, I would be like, you know what? Thank you, no thank you. So, Mrs. Best, how did you feel Josh and Lexi's date was?
Um, I don't really care for either of them. The date was weird, but it wasn't weird. I don't have many opinions on it. I'm struggling with this show as well, James. So
I'm
there's
trying to make
that.
it entertaining for y'all. I'm trying to make it entertaining as much as I can. I don't like this show. I don't know why I picked it up, but I'm a
There's
ride
some
it out because I really
shows
got too
coming
much.
on
So
Bravo. There's Family or Fiance coming on OWN. Um, y'all put some suggestions in the chat for James.
Yeah,
That's
because
my
this ain't
suggestion.
it. This ain't it. So we're gonna move on to James and Sabrene's date, which was the driest date I have ever seen on national TV in all of my life. I don't even know what they were talking about. They were talking about, well, what do you like? Well, what do you like? How is your future? What do you see yourself? And it was like, yeah, these are all important questions, but their answers were so dry that I don't even remember what it was. So good. I see Sabrina going home. I don't see her staying at all. On the next elimination, I feel like she's going home. We move on to this conversation between Josh and Tamaris because it has been awkward between them in the house. And Tamaris was giving him, the standpoint that, she talked to Lexi and Lexi feels like, you downplayed our moments and I had a good time with you and everything. And Josh's standpoint is, why would you tell people about our date and our business? And I said, Josh, that's what women do. Women compare and contrast. It's cause and effect. It's English. It's the same things you were taught into English that is based around women's mindsets. That's the whole reason why those things exist. Compare and contrast. Women do that a lot of times to make sure that they're not getting themselves in crazy situations. So they use the other than ladies' notes, they compare it to theirs to see if everything matches up correctly, and then the contrast. What did he do differently with you that he did not do with me? It's a very interesting cycle. Cause and effect is another thing that women like to do. They like to understand the cause and how it affects them. That's the whole purpose. That's why the world needs women. That is exactly why the world needs women. Because if they don't have them, we end up being with men like Josh, who ends up questioning things and not understanding the species he would love to date. Crazy, right? Crazy work. But to know as a woman is to understand a woman. So the fact that he was so mad about her telling Lexi, which she shouldn't have, but at the same time, they're ladies. They have a natural bond with each other. They have a natural camaraderie. So you have to expect that. So I felt like I understood what he was saying, but at the same time, that's unrealistic. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about that?
Dude's an idiot.
Very much so. I didn't want to say that.
Like, obviously, he is more focused on the tight, wet hole that's warm that a woman can provide versus like paying attention to things outside of what our body can do to satisfy him. That's what it gives. Because, like, at that big age, I mean, there are 18-year-olds that understand that about women. So I don't know. I don't like him. I have no good to say, really. I don't like anything about him. Not his haircut, not the way he dresses, not his auntie's wig, nothing.
Not his auntie's wig. Girl, you is crazy. I cannot believe. Because I agree, but I'm just like, because it's just something about Oma I just can't get with. So, but that was pretty much the episode, y'all. It was very, disturbing. It was very. It wasn't interesting. It was kind of like we're going to shame all these women because that's what we are here to do, you know. And I don't like it. I think all y'all need y'all ass whoops personally, and that's just what it is because the show is stupid. Mrs. Bester, anything you want to add?
No, they gotta figure it out. I should be seeing all three men and their mom slash auntie every episode.
Yeah, because where is James and Katina? I mean, not James. Where's Chad and
Exactly.
Katina? Where's Chad and Katina?
Exactly.
I just want to know, where are they at? Did something happen where we got to wait 3 episodes to see them again? Like, how are y'all editing this show? It's so stupid. I'm telling y'all. Even though I don't like Katina and I'm not really that fond of Chad, it's kind of like, but still, they're on the show. Why aren't we seeing them? I don't know, but yeah, we only got 2 episodes left of this shit, so we gonna roll through with the roll through. But that's it. So we are on holiday, you guys. We're on a holiday weekend. It is Memorial Day Monday. We want to send all our memorability to all soldiers and everybody, in memoriam who have no longer with us. So we're gonna definitely honor them. But there are no TV shows that are airing. We have no Real Housewives of Atlanta. We have no Basketball Wives. We have no. You didn't have Never Ever Met, did you?
Did not air.
It did not air. So we don't have any of these shows this weekend. So me and Mrs. Best are going to take a little bit of break. I have a lot going on with work, transitioning into my new home. So I have a lot going on, y'all. So I am going to be off YouTube for a minute. I will come back every now and then to do Real Housewives of Atlanta, Basketball Wives of Mrs. Best, Never Ever Mess with Mrs. Best. I don't have Love and Marriage Detroit anymore. That went off air. So I only have Real Housewives of Atlanta and Somebody's Son. So that's all I have right now. So, which is perfect because right now I'm busy, but I will be back full fledged when all the rest of my shows come back. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is coming back. I'm hearing in September from what I heard. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, they're done filming already. So yeah, we're good. And I don't know if I'm picking up Real Housewives of Rhode Island. I don't know. Me and Mrs. Best have to toss up a coin for that one.
I may cover it because Dolores is on there, but I don't. I'll give it a trial.
Okay.
Only because of my Black Dolores. That's it. But I'm not.
But I tell you, Dolores is the epitome of a loyal friend. Like, I feel like they gave that same because of Dolores. Dolores, and the way she does it is the most. I've never seen it done like that in my life. You have two friends that are beefing, and you are not thrown in the middle of it at all. It's insane work to me. The way she's able to play off this one, play off that one.
I'm actually, because I had texted you the other day, I wanted to cover Rhode Island because of Dolores, but I probably will not cover Miami if I decide to cover Rhode Island.
Rhode Island isn't pitch next year, I think. That's what they were saying.
I know, but I'm just thinking about the long game. People keep asking me to do Miami. It depends. It depends on when Rhode Island airs, honestly. But
and no, I'm not covering Ladies of London. I'm not covering.
Really?
No.
I was gonna text you and suggest it for you.
Who's on there? Is Hansberry back on there?
I don't think so.
I didn't see her.
I don't think so because she's on Dubai.
If she's not on there, then I'll do it. If she's not on there, then I'll do it. But if she's on there,
you should do it either way.
Like that,
because Dubai may not come back for some time. It's not.
Brooks confirmed it's not coming back because Brooks was so. Fun fact:
wow.
Brooks was the person who put Dubai on the map. I did not know that. So they told her it's not coming back. So yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to take Miami?
No, I'm sure.
Damn. You said that so fast, y'all. Y'all see, I be trying to suggest shows,
and I'm like,
No, I be trying.
She be trying to give. She want me to do the Love Is Blind. She want me to do Ready to Love.
Yes, Family or Fiance.
I cannot do
Family or Fiance, James.
No, I cannot do that show. I'm sorry, I promise you.
Oh my God.
I cannot do that. I have to listen, my drama has to be limited. It cannot be aggravating for me because then I'm going to get flustered in my words and can't speak correctly. Then everybody's going to look at me.
You speak just fine with Love and Hip Hop. They be aggravating the hell out of you.
That ain't my show. I'm a co-host. There's a difference. If I had to run that show, I would not be how I am on your channel. It just would not happen that way. It would be so backward.
Shana, come up with something.
I know, Shana, please come up with something because I'm trying to pick up shows. I don't want to do, y'all, I'm horrible with Netflix. I will fall asleep on a Netflix show. What keeps me entertained with these other shows, there's commercials in between. So therefore, because I get highly enticed with commercials. I do. So, yeah.
That's crazy. But I mean, I'll do Rhode Island. I'll give it a trial like we did Love and Marriage Detroit. And if it works, it works. Because New Jersey also is not going to come back for a while. They're doing a reboot.
I'm excited for Salt Lake City because last season was stellar. So I cannot.
Salt Lake City, though, they give every season, but it's always the newbies that bring the interest. The existing people there.
Every season, they did not give season 3. That was a terrible season. I'm surprised they got to season 4. What made them get season 4 is them getting Mary back and then Monica
Yeah,
added.
that's true. That's true.
So that was the whole. And when people found out Mary was coming back to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, everybody came back to the show. Everyone's like, "Oh
Yep.
yeah, now we can watch it." And that's why I said y'all gotta be careful because I'm telling y'all, heavy hitters like Mary and them, y'all, they do it. They do what it's gonna do. I can't wait to see how Beverly Hills is going to manage now that all the ladies are coming back.
You know what? Beverly Hills is a mess. Like I said, this will be a a trial to see if I'm going to continue covering it because I don't like the way some of these heifers have been moving. Some of the stuff that some of them are being accused of is truly egregious. And I have morals and I'd like to get into them pearly gates one day. So we'll see with Beverly Hills. Half of
Yeah.
my shows are going away. Half of James's shows have been canceled, like Dubai, and aren't coming back. Or question marks like Love and Marriage Detroit. Like you don't realize how effed up TV is until
Oh,
you
I heard
start
Fair Love
recapping
and
stuff.
Huntsville's coming back.
I keep seeing on Facebook these fake little tabloids talking about it's going to be canceled after this season is about to air.
Uh, oh, I feel like it's definitely gonna get canceled because without Melody, they don't have anything. So
Wow.
I feel like it's definitely gonna get canceled. It's not coming back
Damn.
after this season. Then Carlos, you know what show I would love to come back if we have a chance to really cover it. Not that I liked it, I just think that it was just fun reading these heifers fulfilled as Bold and Bougie. I wish that would come back.
I do too. Have you ever thought to cover 90 Day Fiance?
No, oh hell no, 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 no.
I did a
I don't
little
understand
bit
that
of
shit.
it. I did a little bit of it. Like the stuff that happens on there is wild, but the views and subs were worth it. Shout out to my
I
TLC
don't understand the
subscribers.
concept of it. I don't. So that's why I don't want to do a show. I don't understand the concept of.
Ah, I get you. I get
Yeah,
you. I get you.
yeah, because then I don't know if I'll be explaining it correctly based on my perception of it because I don't understand it. I watched it because I started watching. I finally started watching Mama June's show, and
Oh,
I
that's about to air.
I finally started watching it. I'm almost caught up because I was like, because when Honey Boo Boo said she ain't getting her Honey Boo Boo money, I said, wait a minute. I know Honey Boo Boo made a lot of damn money. So what the hell
James.
going on here?
If you cover Mama June, because it
No.
airs Mama June Family Crisis, but hear me out. It airs on the 30th, which is this Friday. Y'all don't understand. I'm a huge fan of this family. I don't know
That one
why.
I'm not
It's
gonna say
just
no to. I'm not gonna
you
say no.
should. It's about to come
I'm
back
not
on
gonna say
TV
no.
Friday. You need a show. And then
Let me
Pumpkin
let me
and Josh
watch
are
it.
divorced now.
I
They going through
know
a
I'm shocked
divorce.
by that. Let
And
me
they filming it. Get your views, friend. You
okay.
gonna listen to me this time.
Let me watch it and then I'll come back and I'll tell you if I do it. But
Oh God, come
that's
on
not a no.
Friday.
It's not a no, y'all. I like that show. I do because they're crazy. But
We could just cut up and talk about how these colorless people are finally the people acting a hot damn mess on TV. Because that's what I enjoy.
it's like you could take the trailer park from the people, but you can't take the trailer park. Well, how's the saying go? You can
You
take the
could
people
take
from
the
the trailer
people
park.
away from the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park without the person.
Show
Yeehaw.
pain.
I'm trying.
Show pain. No offense to people who live in trailer parks. I love y'all. I do. And I don't knock that. Because
Ain't
you
nothing
know what?
wrong
Hey,
with it.
ain't nothing wrong with it.
But
You know,
they the
God,
stereotype
yes.
through and through. But no, you should do it. I love that show. I would love to join it and just talk crap with you. Cause you know it's
Okay.
about to be some mess.
Let me watch it and then I'll get back to you.
He gonna do it, y'all. He ain't got nothing
I know
else to
I
do.
am. I know I am. But that's okay. All right, I'm gonna get up out of here because I gotta get ready. I gotta go pick up my man. We gotta go to a birthday party and then
Oh,
we got to go find a movie to watch because they took Shadow Force out of theaters for what reason I don't know, and I'm mad I didn't see it in Clear Lake last week as I was supposed to.
mm,
They only had one showing for it, so I was like, "Damn, we missed it," because I had to
of
get up at
course,
3 in the morning and drive. So yeah,
it's a
but yeah,
small ass town.
it was cute though. It was a cute little town. I might give me a little apartment up there.
Oh Lord.
I just play it. I just play it. All right, I'll talk to you later. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for coming to the tail end to this. I know y'all probably gonna have fun with us. We crazy, but we love it. We love being here. This is what we love doing. You know, not for anything, just to say me and Mrs. Best are on YouTube having just a conversation we would normally have just without y'all being here. So I'll see you guys next time on my channel. I'll keep you guys updated if there is any shows I'm going to pick up. And I'll see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.